I'm gonna out-angle you.
Nope. I'm gonna get queen. Hey guys, Ian.
And I'm Jessica.
And we're here from Asgardian Strength headquarters. We're here with our new YouTube video series called Sunday, Sunday, Sunday. Strongwoman Sundays. Alright guys, so first up we have Jess doing a real good stretch just for bang for buck. We didn't have a lot of time for this, so I wanted to make sure that we could do something like one big set, hit as much stuff as we could before moving on to the next things. And yeah, this was one, people called this maybe the world's greatest stretch. If you're, say, knees touching for the regress version, I call this a half kneeling T-spine rotation. But yeah, great stretch to do. Highly recommend you do this before any movement, whether it's squat, bench, deadlift. It's just great. So with this next one, this is a Copenhagen side plank. This Jess is doing a pretty hardcore version of this one because she's pretty goddamn strong. This one is fantastic because you're getting the obliques, you're getting that lateral flexion, but you're also getting the adductor. And I find that's an extremely important muscle, especially when you're doing anything for hip extension or squatting. In the bottom of the squat, you're going to have the adductors doing quite a bit for that hip extension. And I paired this with her doing a pal-off press for quite a bit of reps. Anti-rotation is another one of those big bang for buck exercises. If you're going to do squat, deadlift, overhead press, highly recommend you guys do this one. It is just awesome to do for a lot of reps. Sometimes people will load it up and go heavy for, let's say, 10. I may just do 20 here per side, and I made her do 2 rounds of the Copenhagens and this pal-off press. So here we are doing a quadruple single arm prisoner. This one is great for internal and external rotation as well as getting those shoulder blades moving. On the left arm, we're getting a lot of bracing in that tripod position so she can work on getting some tension through the serratus. That's a muscle that's going to help with just scooping that shoulder blade underneath for any overhead movements. And if you have any type of shoulder pain, that's a movement that you really want to work on as well. Jess has never played any sports, so this is just something to get her some more power, just get her used to doing something more athletic. There's a little bit of a warm-up. She was just figuring it out, and then we get her to do some sets of 3 here, and she actually did a lot better than I thought. The key here for her as we go forward is just to make sure she rebounds off the floor a lot quicker, and then here we have her doing another super set with that suitcase carry. Suitcase carries are just fantastic. I put them in everybody's program, different variations of them. I do them almost every day myself. They're just a great warm-up for hip stability, core, and yeah, they're just fantastic. Jess looked at me pretty confused when I said we were going to do some pull-ups before we went over to try some of the overhead pressing and the sandbags. I like pull-ups, especially these neutral ones. And you see she's getting that extra range of motion at the bottom with the shoulder blade. And that's kind of the big key here. Is I'm looking for a big range of motion. You don't have to do a whole bunch, but when she's doing a lot of pressing overhead and then when she's doing a lot of pulling off the floor, these are just going to have a lot of great carryover for her. Now we move on to the axle overhead press. We were just playing with, just using a bigger, thicker bar. Figure out her hand position. This set is not as good as the one she did before. She actually ended up pressing this weight for 3 reps in a row. She got the hang of how to press back behind her head. And she was actually able to wrap her thumbs around, and that felt a little bit better for her.
So scary.
So here's the highlight of the session. Jess has the 200-pound sandbag right there. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. I knew she had the strength to get it off the floor. It was just interesting to see whether she was going to commit to loading the actual sandbag, and fucking great technique, great lift. Yeah, 200 pounds. She actually ended up getting I think it's 250. I think she just deadlifted it, got it up to her hips, and then, just started to black out. So she ended up putting that down, took a second, but yeah, 200 pounds up on the 42 inches. Here's the 250 she deadlifted. There's the blackout right there, just like a good night out. And then we moved on some grip stuff. Kind of seeing where she could hold on to just for a starting point. I find there's a lot of technique with how you hold on to the bar and stuff like that. So there's a bit of a learning curve with this. We went up, added some weight. I think she got the blue and the green up to her hips. Held it for a quick second, but it just slipped out of her hands, which I'm pretty sure she'll be able to hold on to that in no time. Before sandbags, we did some stone rows. This is a great general prep exercise to loading stones, and just because we're getting our hands on a spherical object as opposed to something that's a barbell or a dumbbell, it just changes up how we're loading up the joints, the wrists, the elbows, shoulders, and making sure we do a lot of these also just gets the tendons and ligaments a lot stronger in this motion. You see she's taking a wider stance to row this big ass 115 stone with ease. That just helps to get her back a lot flatter, gets her to use more of the legs and the adductors to help stabilize. As she loads it, I'm going to get her to take a closer stance, because when you are loading a stone, you do have to put it on top of the thighs. If your legs are too wide, it's just going to fall in between, or you run the risk of just tweaking your knee from trying to force your knees in too much to help support that stone. All right, so that was her workout she did. It's been a few days after the fact, so let's see how she's doing. So, Jess, what did you think of your first Strongwoman workout?
I actually really enjoyed it, which is really surprising because I never thought in a million years I would ever try strongman. I always thought it was kind of weird to
her words were pay to do slave labor were her exact words.
Yeah, like strongman is manual labor, and I just never thought I would have fun doing manual labor for free.
Yeah, until she understood the rush of, trying not to black out after you do something cool like a 200-pound sandbag. Fuck yeah! How'd that feel?
That's good. Because I know, because I've injured my back in the past a lot of times, and looking at strongman, you can see so much flexion and extension, and that shit just really scared me. So even just trying the sandbag, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna blow up my back, and didn't feel anything in my back actually.
She blew it up.
Yeah, no, I feel a lot more other exercises in my lower back than I did doing the sandbag, and yeah, it was kind of cool.
Yeah, this was kind of the newest thing. You used to use the axle bar too. So what did you find the difference just of doing an axle bar push press versus the barbell?
Just holding onto the grip was really weird.
You tried it this way first, and that didn't feel as good as doing it with actually grabbing the bar.
I didn't feel good grabbing the bar either, so that's just something that.
Yeah, I think for her,
I suck at overhead, so.
She also has some instability in her shoulders, like natural instability. So I think when she has this, she doesn't get as much stability, like the law of irradiation. She squeezes this shit, this should squeeze harder. So I think when she puts her thumb around, that just helps with the rotator cuff stability.
Yeah, and I have really, really, really lax joints, if you can see in there.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I can pop my shoulder out.
It's weird, gross.
Can't do it on this side because I separated that one.
Yeah. And then it's structurally healed, stronger.
Yeah.
Stronger, better, faster.
Just gotta do it to the other one.
Yeah. But yeah, so any other than that, we have to do a carry medley and some conditioning stuff, so she gets like kind of more of a taste of things. We did grip stuff, we did like some loading, we did stone rows too. What'd you think of just like rowing the stones?
Well, at first it was really hurting my wrists, but then you showed me how to actually properly do them, and then they felt good. And it was kind of cool, and I was worried that I was going to drop the stone back in my hand, but
you didn't.
No,
it's
I
pretty
think
cool.
It went well.
Yeah, so
way better than I thought it was going to. I thought I was gonna die.
And in the evening, she was like fucking dead. She was more tired than she is normally doing stuff. I think just the, max effort and then resisting the urge of blacking out and seeing Jesus was pretty tiring. So
yeah, there's a lot on the sandbag.
Yeah, if you want to
blackout.
Yeah, if you want to like have a good sleep. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, good to know.
I do that tonight. You're not living
Maybe
unless
you
you
should
don't black
have
out.
told me that before we started.
It would have scared you. You wouldn't have tried it then. Surprise!
I'm always in for a good blackout.
Yeah, right. I know. No, it's not like a Saturday night, babe. But yeah, anyways, that was our first workout. She did fucking awesome. I'm really excited to see what she can do in the future. As you saw, she picked up the fucking 250. So I know there are a lot of men at our gym that can't even pick up the 200. Like the 250 is unfathomable for them to pick up. So if she can pick that shit up, I know it'd be pretty fucking cool. All the male CrossFitters would be fucking pissy.
Nice.
But
fine.
whatever, they should do real strongman. Anyways, thanks guys for tuning in. We will see you next week with an update. Check the video out on Wednesday. She'll be doing it on Sunday. Strongwoman Sunday. See you guys later.
Check
Peace.
you later.
Fuck, you're lame.